Hi guys, and welcome to video number 2 on my channel. In today's video we are going to be doing reading fantasy books for a week. So today I actually started already and forgot to film it. My bad. But we already read A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, which is the last book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and it was so good. It has been on my TBR forever, and for some reason I just haven't gotten around to reading it since it came out. I actually have these signed Barnes & Noble edition copies, so it was like a little more fun reading it knowing that she had touched it in her hands, you know. But for the first book that we are going to be reading for this actual video, we are reading Crown of Midnight, and this is from the Throne of Glass trilogy. So I've actually already read Throne of Glass. I read it last year right after finishing ACOTAR, and not gonna lie, it was not my favorite book. I think I just didn't like it as much because I had just come off such a high from reading A Court of Silver Flames, just to jump right into another Sarah J Maas world. Even though I know that they're both kind of like in the same universe, I think it was just kind of a letdown because obviously you're having to start with a whole new world building, introducing whole new characters, and I think my expectations were just ridiculously high from reading A Court of Silver Flames right before it. I thought about rereading Throne of Glass, and honestly I didn't want to risk putting myself into a slump. So we're just going to jump into Crown of Midnight. I'm actually on chapter 10 right now, which is page 75. I started this earlier today after finishing A Curse for True Love, and so far I'm a little lost. I think maybe I should have read Throne of Glass again, but it's okay. I'm also planning on reading or listening to the audiobook summary that's on Spotify, and it goes in bunches of chapters. So once I finish chapter 10, I can listen to the first summary, which is chapters 1 through 10, and then 11 through 20, and so on. And I think that's kind of going to help me really grasp what's going on so far because I am a little confused. And then we will see how many other fantasy books we can read this week. I know for sure that I want to read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That's on my bookshelves back here somewhere. I also want to read A Serpent in the Wings of the Night or something like that, the Carissa Broadband book. We might also read some other books that are on my series TBR because Throne of Glass is on them. And the reason I'm not just doing a Throne of Glass reading vlog though is because this is the last physical copy that I own of the Throne of Glass series, so I have to go out and buy them, and I don't know if we're gonna be in the mood for that. So if we finish this and I don't feel like going out, we're just gonna start another book, and if I feel like I want to continue it, then we'll just go and buy it. But we will see when we get there. Alright, let's get into reading. I just finished Crown of Midnight, and I have no words. There are literally no words to describe what just happened in here. And it all happened in the last 10 chapters. And I'm so shocked and so confused. And I don't even know what just happened. But now I think we have to go and buy Air of Fire. Like, I just need to know what happens. And then after that, I think we're probably gonna have to take a break from Throne of Glass so I don't get burnt out. But we need to go get Air of Fire right now. So this might turn into a Throne of Glass reading vlog. Alright guys, so a little reading update. I'm still on Air of Fire, and I am in chapter 22. She has been sent away. She has gone to like the training center. We've met new characters like Rowan. If you know, you know. We've also met some other characters that I don't love, like Manon, but I'm sure that she'll become more important because she's getting full chapters in her point of view. I did realize, though, that I was supposed to read Assassin's Blade before reading Air of Fire, and I did not do that. So I think what we're going to do is, because Assassin's Blade is 5 books, I think that if I hit like a lull in Air of Fire, because I'm still not even halfway through, that I'm going to try and read at least 2 of the books and then come back to Air of Fire. And if it happens again, just go back into the novellas because I forgot to read it. And I feel like it's probably important that I do. So that's my plan as of right now. Okay guys, so I figured we would stop here and do a little reading update, just to let you guys know like where I'm at. So I think last I talked to you I was reading Air of Fire, and I got to page actually I have no idea where I am. Page 232 in Air of Fire, and then I was taking a little break scrolling on TikTok, and I realized, because I saw a video about the reading order of Throne of Glass, and I realized that I completely was supposed to read Assassin's Blade first. In my head, I don't know why this one came after this one. So I put this down and I picked up Assassin's Blade. So right now I am in the 3rd novella, which is The Assassin and the Desert, and I'm like 1 page into that novella. But I've already read The Assassin and the Pirate Lord, and then The Assassin and the Healer, because there's 5 total novellas inside Assassin's Blade. So I have to finish The Desert, and then I also have to read The Assassin and the Underworld and The Assassin and the Empire before I can get back to Air of Fire. I'm hoping that I can maybe finish both books tomorrow, because I do still want to pick up Powerless by Lauren Roberts or The Serpent of the Wings of the Night, because I know that I need to take a break from Throne of Glass. Otherwise, I'm going to get really burnt out by the series, which is what happened when I read ACOTAR last year. So I know that I have to pick up a different book. Ideally, I would pick up both and be able to finish by the end of this video. But again, I did only give myself a week of reading fantasy books before I know that I'm probably going to need a little bit of a break. But we will see which one I pick up. I just wanted to give you guys that little update though, so you guys know where I am in the books. I actually just went back into Air of Fire after finishing Assassin's Blade, and I just got to part 2. And I'm so excited. We just learned so much information about Rowan that I think really explains a lot, and I'm very excited for them to like get closer, because I'm literally grasping for straws at any sort of romantic interest at this point, because I love romantasy and there's just really not any romance in this book yet. So I'm really just grasping at straws that like the truce that they just made will last. Hi guys, I just wanted to come on here to end today's video. So this was reading fantasy for a week, which honestly kind of just turned into reading Throne of Glass for a week, which I'm honestly not upset about at all. I can't wait to finish the Throne of Glass series, and I'm hoping that by like the middle of March, like it'll be done, because I know I do need to take a break. Otherwise, I'm gonna go crazy having read so many Sarah J. Maas books in a row. With that being said, in this video, we were able to read 3 books. We were able to read Crown of Midnight, Assassin's Blade, and Air of Fire. I honestly thought that I was going to be able to read a lot more books. We did start Queen of Shadows, but I'm only about 100 pages in. Just getting sick really kind of derailed my plans for this video. Like, you can probably still hear it in my voice. I'm still not feeling 100%. However, The 3 books that we did read in this video were so good, and I have gotten to be so obsessed with this series. Like, it's not even funny. I used to be a Throne of Glass hater. I had only ever read the first book, and I read it right after reading ACOTAR, which I think is probably where I went wrong, because I probably shouldn't have read such a highly anticipated book when I was in the middle of a book hangover from, a 5-star series by the same author. So that was on me. I take it back. I take back everything that I ever said badly about Throne of Glass. I changed my mind, which is allowed. We are allowed to change our minds when it comes to our opinions about books, and that just needs to be accepted. However, I will say that Assassin's Blade just kind of felt like a book that I just had to get through. I wasn't really reading it because I was devouring the story or I was super obsessed with what I was reading, but I knew that I had to read it for the rest of the series to make sense. And I actually did just post my review for it a couple days ago on my book Instagram. So if you want to go see more in depth what I had to say about it, you're more than welcome to go check that out. I guess I understand why some people choose to read that book first. And honestly, I kind of wish that I had read it first, because I do feel like it kind of gave you some more backstory. But I also completely enjoyed reading it third. So I just don't, I have pretty mixed opinions about it. And I think that you could really do it either way. I just chose to read it third because that was the way that I found she personally recommended on her website. So I would say you can read either way. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. But you are introduced to some characters that you're going to need to know about in later books. So whatever you do, just don't skip it. Definitely read it. With that being said, I'm currently reading Queen of Shadows. Hopefully that'll be coming soon. A book review will be coming soon to the Instagram. So if you wanted to follow along and see what I have to say about Queen of Shadows, feel free to follow along on the Instagram. Please subscribe and follow along here. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!